Hello, this is I seen you before playing Dominions 4, and for episode 5, just like the last episode, the audio in the game while I was doing the live recording was too low, so I'm gonna do a voiceover, just like last episode. So, off we go. Well, for this episode, as you can see through the title screen, it didn't really end up exactly as planned, and we're heading off into a new turn. During that time, everything was fine. I was able to find a new magic site that would give me more fire gems, which is pretty good since the throne lets me recruit the Mage of Summer. I'll be able to use flaming arrows with the recruitable archers. That was my original plan. I moved in the Prophet so that he's able to claim the throne as soon as possible. And I'm just explaining that having Holy 3 means you can claim the throne. As you can see, the throne right there gives me +1 heat to my Dominion and +1 fire gem, as well as lets you recruit the Mage of Summer. Just put some province defense on the throne for now. Originally, I was trying to head to the southern throne before Marverni declares war, so that I'll be able to have at least 3 thrones secure. I don't really recruit the Therodian hoplites. I find that the stats that they have and the high resource cost is barely worth it. In fact, the Cairo band probably wouldn't be too bad, but right now I'm saving money because soon we're gonna be very broke. Lanka is still pretty far from us. I'm guessing they won't re-attack us because our Dominion is not strong enough to affect them. I'm fairly amazed that our neighbor Ulm hasn't decided to attack us yet during that time. That's why I have so many scouts, because I'm expecting them to attack us. I decided to recruit a commander in here so that he'll be able to replace the general leading the troops for building fortress. During that time, I'm thinking that we'll probably need more Dactyl to be able to use some battle magic eventually. And judging from the gems that we have, we should be able to transition without too much of a big problem. As soon as we reach enchantment with a big amount of earth gems that we have, we'll be able to summon and live in Gargoyle. I'm also trying to use Claymen in an army to see how it goes. I haven't really tried them too well so far, so I'm gonna give it a try by casting Claymen in this province. You can basically make the spell a bit more efficient the more levels you have in water. I'm also thinking, evaluating if we should use Terracotta Army. And I still regret that we were not able to take the Amazon province that Ulm took from us. Let's move on to the new turn. Our site searching team has found a lot of new magic sites, 2 air sites, 1 nature site, which will give us more air gem income and more nature income, which is a really good thing for later on. Air gems can be used either for crafting items such as flying boots or summoning griffins. Griffins are pretty handy creatures for raiding. We're gonna switch the orders for the commander to build the new fort, and we're gonna move away our what am I doing with the Prophet right now? Yeah, I'm moving the Prophet back to the coastal province to summon more troops there. I'm also building a temple because the Dominion is kind of hostile, giving the braces of protection to Ulysses so that he'll be able to become somewhat of a super commander. deciding whether to summon spectral philosophers or Ethers. At this point I decide to summon more philosophers to boost my research because we haven't been attacked yet. It seems that Callum has taken one of those manticorn type of gods. Still scouting around. We'll be recruiting more Kyberos to be used as battle mages. And one other thing that I have in mind is to get them a dwarven hammer so that they're able to forge research quills for only 2 air gems instead of 5. We'll just keep to research enchantment just a couple more turns and we should be able to get it. Deciding whether I should spam Clayman or not. Pelagia is amassing troops right now. Moving on to the other turn. This is where Marverni finally declares war on us. Callum has claimed the Throne of Ice. A couple of random events, more magic gems. Just set the new summon philosopher on research. And I think I decided to summon more philosophers in order to boost our research a bit better, a bit stronger research. I summoned one more so that we are able to get a bigger research boost to be able to get our research goals a bit faster. If our research is not good enough, we won't be able to transit into middle game and won't be able to use our battlefield evocation magic. And it's going to be a trouble because when playing against a high level AI, they always have so much gold and resources that they'll swarm you with units, so you'll need to counter them with battle magic. I'm getting the new forces ready, but formation is pretty good for the curators because they'll keep guarding until they're blessed, then they'll burst so I can head straight into the enemy. Probably need to anticipate Marverni attacking us. Keep the Prophet in the coastal province to summon more specters and reinforcements. You should keep in mind as you recruit a lot of Kyberos, you'll get unrest. So for every 2 or 3 Kyberos, get a Melia to counter the unrest caused. Just gonna keep getting archers for later on when we get access to flaming arrows. We technically already unlocked it, but now we need a mage that can cast it. So just a couple more turns until we build the temple, the laboratory. Actually, I didn't really need a temple here. Exactly. Here I'm just explaining that if we recruit the Mage of Summer, he will start at the Fire 2 and we'll just need to research Conjuration for summon Fire Power and give him a couple of magic gems to be able to cast Flaming Arrows. Fire Arrows would be really handy, especially that we can mass archers. Moving on to the next turn. It seems that Pelagia also decided to declare war on us. Let's So starting from this turn, we're at war at sea and on land as well. And both guys seems to have quite very big armies. Things look a bit grim now. We have lost both of our provinces next to our capital, and the front province that we have is most likely to be gone in a couple of turns. I decided to build the lab so that next turn, as soon as the fortress is up, we can put a Mage of Summer on recruit. It starts to get dangerous for side searching squads, so I'm thinking maybe I should make them head towards the fortress for a bit more security. We don't want them to get attacked by Marverni. As for this army, I'm gonna go in there to hopefully slow them a bit. But it might be impractical, as the enemy will get way more units to throw at us the more we throw at them. We're almost done with researching enchantment, so that we'll be able to summon and live in gargoyles. The problem with summoning claymen and gargoyles, even though they are amphibians, they are poor amphibians, and having them underwater gives them quite a bit stat penalty. I am having a hard time deciding whether I should summon more claymen or decide to do something else. I have not researched construction, which means I can't safely turn my my god into a super commander yet. As you can see, their stats are very low inside the water. With an attack skill of 4 and a defense skill of 3, they'll barely hit anything at all. And here I'm trying to see which spells can be used underwater, and I'm not too sure myself. I'll just start researching evocation since we're done with enchantment, splitting the research points appropriately. The situation is getting fairly critical. We might easily get wiped out if we're not careful at this point in time. So I'll just keep recruiting a few more Kyberus and Therodian archers to be able to stand our ground on land. From what I'm guessing, we'll definitely have a harder time in the sea, and unfortunately our capital is there, compared to on the land against Marverni. I decide to start casting more claymen. No, I'm being very indecisive here. I decide to move a clayman to the land in order to, I guess, have more of a fighting power against Marverni. But eventually, I should not let my capital fall, because then I'll die to a Dominion kill slowly. We're heading on to a new turn, and things are not gonna be too good for this episode, that's for sure. We are just taking but small province from Marverni. It seems he only has province defense there, and our army did a quick job of them. Pelagia has taken over the province, the front province, and we already lost it. They don't need to claim it. As soon as you lose the province, you lose the front. And the situation is getting pretty bad, with Marverni coming in from the south and us losing our sea provinces. At this very moment, I start to recruit the Mage of Summer, as he will represent our only way to flaming arrows on land. At this point, let's say I took a careless move and I sent my pretender there to take over the province and to just basically not let Pelagia take over everything. I overestimated my pretender, thinking that he will be able to kill everything if he comes to a threat, since I thought the main army retreated to go do something else, because there's only 20 units there, so I thought it wasn't a problem. But as you're gonna see next turn, that's gonna actually be a problem. Trying to see if there's any new buffs that I can cast. I decided to add a water shield to the rotation. I have to admit I was being pretty greedy by pulling this move off, and it did not pay off. The one more month to the fortress. We forgot to switch our research points. I'm gonna try to get some construction in to forge a few boosters and perhaps reinvigoration items to gear up some battle mages, as well as get evocation to add some battle evocation to our land battles. As you can see, I did not expect that our pretender would be fighting such a big army. At first it looks pretty promising. He's able to clear out the first wave, but I tend to forget that Pelagia uses poisoned weapons. And at this very point in time, our Ulysses is completely surrounded by enemies, doing quite a nice job at taking out the chunks. But as you can see, he has no reinvigoration and quite a low defense skill, so he can't defend and parry that many attacks. As we keep going forward, the battle doesn't look too good, even though he's chomping out at the enemies with no problems. That's where he picks up the first affliction, which is not a big deal, but as you can see, his fatigue is getting dangerously high. And when you go over 100, your commander or combatant basically falls unconscious. As you can see, he now decides to run away because he has taken too much damage and dies from the poison. And at this very point, I have to admit I'm very frustrated. Our plans of using the pretender as a super commander to fend off the hard AI is basically ruined, or at least until we can reclaim him. And Pelagia is also coming right after us. And that's pretty much why this episode is titled Catastrophe. I don't know if we'll be able to pull this off, but I'll keep playing until I lose to the AI. Thank you very much for joining us. That will be the end of this Let's Play. I hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to leave a comment, a suggestion for maybe the next future playlist, and of course like and subscribe if you like the content, and see you soon.